The year was 2016. Turn on your phone, TV, or any screen you had, and you would have seen Conor McGregor somewhere, strutting around the octagon or creating viral clips at press conferences. This wasn't just the year when Conor created history in MMA and combat sports. This was the year when he changed everything. He broke records in dominant fashion, carried himself in his own manner, and introduced the entire world to the sport of MMA in a way that had never been done before. But how did Conor do this in just 1 year? Conor McGregor had started his pro MMA career in 2008 with 2 straight wins, followed by 1 loss. This loss, this early into his career, broke McGregor, had his confidence shaken, and even considered quitting MMA. He was just 3 fights into his pro career and had already hit the lowest point of his life. But his coach, John Kavanagh, convinced him to stick to the sport and take his training more seriously. So McGregor stopped partying and committed his life to the sport, which is where the legend of McGregor was born. Conor completely restructured his life and became obsessed with becoming something in the sport. He quickly turned his career around and became well known in the European MMA circuit. This is where Conor formed his signature style: first-round knockouts, calmness under pressure, and taunting during fights. It doesn't take much time for him to run through his first promotion in Cage Warriors, where he won both the featherweight title and the lightweight title in dominant fashion. It was obvious that McGregor was special. Everybody who knew about him loved him. A UFC contract was bound to come sooner or later for him. So in February 2013, Conor makes his UFC debut. And after that, he goes on one of the wildest runs MMA has ever seen. He dominated every single opponent that stood in front of him.
That's what for a takedown, he gets it. Conversation. Looking up, finish the fight. That's it.
This was the birth of something the UFC hadn't seen before. A fighter who could make fans feel something, win or lose, but he never lost. After every knockout, every prediction, McGregor's legend grew bigger and bigger. But for all the hype, one name loomed over him: Jose Aldo. Aldo was the featherweight king. He had been undefeated for 10 years, and he was a national hero in Brazil. If McGregor could beat him, that meant conquering not just a fighter, but a legacy. McGregor had tore through the featherweight division: Brimage, Holloway, Brandao, Poirier. McGregor walked away victorious in dominant fashion every fight. McGregor wasn't just winning, he was calling his exact shots, hence his nickname, Mystic Mac.
So I said I'd knock him out in the first round, and I knocked him out in the first round. You can call me Mystic Mac because I predict these things.
As time went on, by 2015, the hype surrounding McGregor was volcanic. After Conor had defeated Dennis Siver in dominant fashion, he jumped the cage to confront Jose Aldo. That was the man he had to defeat in order to become the world champion. Conor had proved himself to be worthy of a UFC title shot, so that was the fight they booked next. McGregor hypes this fight up instantly and comes after Aldo and trash talks every moment he gets.
McGregor, how long is it going to take you to rip his head off?
It will be done in 1. Jose, are you listening? Jose, keep that belt listening. McGregor's coming for you. He'll do you in 2.
The fight buildup becomes one of the most intriguing buildups in the UFC. Everybody wants to see this fight now, but then came the news nobody wanted to see. Jose Aldo injured his ribs, and the fight gets canceled. But McGregor didn't step out with him. Instead, he stayed on the card and fought a replacement fighter instead. So McGregor got booked to face Chad Mendes for the interim title instead on the same event. This became McGregor's greatest test yet. Mendes took him down, controlled him, and made him bleed.
Beautiful shot by Chad. Connected.
But Conor just smiled through it. It's as if he knew exactly what would happen.
Shots by McGregor. 10 seconds. Oh, he's hurt. It's all over.
Nobody can take that left-hand shot. It's as simple as that. Everyone breaks, and he broke. So in my eyes, Jose's gone running. If he wants to come back, he can come back, but I swear to God, his day will come.
Finally, as time went on, Aldo was clear to fight, and McGregor gets the real title shot booked, just as he wanted. And this is where the year of McGregor begins. And from that moment on, the psychological warfare continued.
Come get it. Come get it. You little old fuck, come get it.
McGregor insulted Aldo in every city on the map. He turned Aldo's composure into chaos. By fight week, Aldo looked different. This didn't look like the same fighter who had been undefeated for 10 years. He looked beaten before the fight even had begun. And when they finally stepped into the octagon, it felt less like a contest and more like destiny. 13 seconds later,
Relaxed and smiling. Oh!
Aldo was unconscious. The shortest title fight in UFC history. A clean counter left. The shot heard around the world. McGregor stood over Aldo's body with 2 words written across his smile. I told you so. But the year of McGregor was just beginning.
$10.1 million gate. The highest pay-per-view of the year. We done it again. I'd like to congratulate and thank everyone involved. And I'll see you again in the new year. Thank you so much.
After the biggest win of his career against Aldo, McGregor was unstoppable. His name was everywhere. Talk shows, magazine covers, he was the face of a new UFC, loud, confident, and unapologetic. But Conor's eyes were already set on something bigger. 2 belts in 2 divisions, and 1 name in the history books.
Most certainly I'm looking to replicate what I have achieved in my previous promotion, a 2-weight world champion, held consecutively. I said I would do it, and I will do it.
The plan was simple. Challenge Rafael dos Anjos for the lightweight title and make history. The fight got booked, and McGregor does his thing. He promotes the fight.
Your kids' names are Bob and Donald. Why are you raising American children? Why don't you trust in your own people? So you're going back to Brazil to answer that question while you stay in a hotel that we have to pay for you because you don't have a home over there.
But about 1 week out from the fight, dos Anjos broke his foot. McGregor didn't want to step out. He wanted another fighter. So the UFC searched for the best names to step in. The entire event crumbled until one man said yes.
Conor McGregor, you're taking everything I work for, mother.
Nate Diaz accepted the fight on just a week's notice with no problems. Even though the original fight fell through, the hype for the new matchup was almost bigger. McGregor, the polished superstar in suits, versus Diaz, the Stockton street fighter who couldn't care less. And that's exactly why fans loved it. The trash talk was vicious, and the tension was real.
Your teammate Gil and Jake were 2 caught on steroids. Did you know they were taking that stuff? Did you know they were taking that stuff? But at the same time, he coaches kids jiu-jitsu on a Sunday morning and goes on bike rides with the elderly. He makes gun signs with the right hand and animal balloons with the left hand.
One of my little dudes slapped the shit out of that guy. What the fuck?
And just the year before, Diaz had called out Conor in the octagon.
Conor McGregor, you're taking everything I work for, mother. I'm gonna fight your. You know what's the real fight? What's the real money fight is me, not these clowns that you already punked at the press conference. Don't no one want to see that. You know you beat them already. That's the easy fight. You want that real.
So the history between the two was there. These guys hated each other. By the time they stepped into the cage, the entire world was watching.
Follow my instructions. Touch gloves. If you wish, let's do this.
McGregor dominated early in the first round.
Good left hand. Just missed. Conor, good left.
Clean left hands, sharp movement, the same vintage McGregor that we all knew. But Diaz didn't go away. He took shots, kept walking forward, and he never fell down, no matter how hard he got hit. They go on to the next round, and then came the moment. McGregor had become visibly tired after trying to rush the finish in the first round. A simple 1-2 rocked McGregor, and his aura finally got cracked. McGregor shot for a takedown, a desperate move. Diaz sprawled, took his back, and seconds later, the unthinkable happened. McGregor tapped to a rear naked choke and got his first loss in the UFC. But this loss ultimately became the foundation of something greater. After the Diaz loss, critics said the McGregor era was over. They said he was all talk and that he'd been exposed. That's what the critics said about McGregor. But Conor, he went silent. No theatrics, no headlines, and no drama. McGregor only wanted to improve, come back stronger, and prove himself. He had accepted his responsibility, made no excuses, and acknowledged his loss to Nate Diaz.
He was very efficient and he took shots well, and he played with his energy well, and whereas I didn't. But he played well. He went into autopilot mode where I panicked a little bit, and this is it. You win or you learn. So
He knew the only thing he could do was to get better and fix his mistakes. The rematch got booked close after the first fight at UFC 202. The fight didn't really need much build-up as everyone still wanted to see this go down and became one of the most hyped fights in combat sports. Could McGregor improve his game plan and come out victorious? As the fight started to have its build-up, everything felt different. The hatred and hostility was still there, but McGregor was laser-focused. No arrogance, no distractions, just obsession.
I'm interested to see what the boy has done with a full camp. He was talking all this, oh, well, I didn't have a full camp, and that's the reason I got my ass whooped for most of the fight until you couldn't whoop my ass no more. So let's see what he has. Let's see what his full camp has done. I believe I am the better fighter by a long stretch.
As we all know, the rivalry between Conor and Nate is one of the biggest in MMA history. But Conor wasn't just fighting Nate. He fought to overcome the biggest loss of his career. He fought for redemption. The fight itself was a war. 5 rounds of blood, fatigue, and willpower.
Oh, he heard it again. Conor feels it.
McGregor knocked Diaz down multiple times but couldn't finish him. Diaz refused to go down and showed off his well-known chin in this fight. When the final bell rang, both men looked broken. But one of them had grown past their bad habits and mistakes. The final result had McGregor winning the fight by majority decision.
The notorious Conor McGregor!
A close, hard-earned victory. And for the first time, he proved he was more than just a knockout artist. He was a fighter with heart. That night, the event had broken pay-per-view records. McGregor's comeback was complete. He had overcame his biggest loss and became an even bigger star from this rivalry.
I took it to him and I stayed in it and got the win, so I'm very happy with it. I tell you what, man, his face was open up and he's still just coming. He's still just coming at me. You've got to respect that. You've got to respect Nate and the style of fighting that he brings.
But the rivalry was now over. McGregor had a plan he had to get back to in order to complete a perfect year, double champ status. By late 2016, McGregor wasn't chasing history anymore. He was making it. He was breaking pay-per-view records. He was one of the most entertaining fighters in his time, and nobody had done it like him before. When Conor fought, everybody tuned in. MMA had never seen anyone like him before. April 14th, 2016, MMA had finally got legalized in New York after being illegal since the start of the sport. So the UFC needed something monumental for their first event at the historical Madison Square Garden. And who else could they call but Conor McGregor? Conor McGregor versus Eddie Alvarez for the lightweight title gets booked at UFC 205. Conor had the chance to become the first simultaneous 2-division UFC champion at the biggest stage of his career, and he wasn't going to miss. Riding off the momentum from the Nate Diaz victory, the hype for Conor McGregor was bigger than ever. McGregor was back as his good old trash-talking self. At the press conference, McGregor arrived fashionably late, strutted in, grabbed Alvarez's belt off the table, and turned the room into chaos. Even though the hype was big, everybody didn't think this matchup was fair, as McGregor was still holding the featherweight title and hadn't fought in the featherweight division since the Aldo fight. They believed McGregor to be privileged and handed this massive opportunity just because he's McGregor, and that he should defend the actual belt he's holding instead. But as fight day comes closer, they realized maybe McGregor had earned this opportunity. Both McGregor's fans and his haters tuned in every time he was on the screen. Because this matchup was more than just one of MMA's biggest fights, it was the most historic one yet. Some thought Eddie Alvarez would drown him. Others thought Conor McGregor was about to change the sport. But everyone agreed on one thing. If McGregor won, it would change everything. He was at the peak of his career. By fight night, the world wasn't just watching an MMA bout. They were watching a spectacle, and what followed was perfection. McGregor's timing was godlike. Just a few seconds into the fight, and everybody could see who would win this fight. Every counter, every feint, every strike was landed with surgical precision.
Alvarez popped back up. It is. He hurt him again. He hurt him back.
Alvarez couldn't touch him. 4 knockdowns later, and McGregor ended it with a flawless combination.
That might be the third. Alvarez getting loose, getting better here in this round, though.
Until then, he's done. He's done.
History was made, and Conor had just put out the performance of a lifetime at the biggest stage of his career, which resulted in one of the most historic feats in the UFC. McGregor now had 2 belts and was the first fighter to ever do so. And it was in this post-fight interview with Joe Rogan he dropped one immortal quote to seal it all.
I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody. The double champ does what the he wants.
He had done it. The first ever 2-division UFC champion, and once again over 1 million pay-per-view buys. This was the culmination of years of talk, struggle, and belief. McGregor had finally achieved his dream. He had destroyed every fighter in his path, broken pay-per-view records, became the official cash cow of the UFC, broken historical records in the world of combat sports, changed the way of fighters for the future to come, and most importantly, built a massively respected legacy. And that was the year of Conor McGregor.
2015 was my year. 2016 is also my year. Every year is my fucking year.